The Up and Adam Show is sponsored by the Topflix app. Discover your next favorite movie and TV series and where to stream it. Explore trending titles, popular trailers, entertainment news, and much more, all in one free app. Download it on the App Store today for free. Thank you and enjoy the video.
This is Adam Lupus coming at you from the Up and Adam Show. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. It's a really nice Saturday here in Toronto. The weather's finally giving us a break because it's been really, really terrible these past couple weeks. But let's get right into the show, guys. I got a really special guest for you guys. He's a singer and songwriter from Toronto and a great guy. We've been chatting on Instagram and texting for a bit. Please welcome Daniel Meschino. How are you, man?
Great, Adam. How are you, brother?
Good, man. Thanks so much for being on the show today. How's your Saturday been, dude?
Oh, man, I've just been chilling out with my dog pretty much. That's about it.
You're Milo, right?
Saturday. Yeah, it's Milo.
Nice, man. Nice. How long you had a dog for?
My dog, he's about 6 years old right now.
I had a dog. It passed away a couple years ago, though, but she was like 18.
Oh, no way.
18 years old.
18? Oh,
yeah.
He lived long, though.
Yeah.
What type of dog was he?
Maltese and Shih Tzu. Maltese Shih Tzu. Close, right?
Mine's Maltese Poodle.
Wait, are you from Woodbridge or no?
Yeah, I'm from Woodbridge.
Everyone in Woodbridge, I'm from Maple, but everyone in Woodbridge and Maple has a Maltese or a Shih Tzu or a Poodle.
It's true, though.
Oh my
it's
God.
True. Every time I take him for a walk, you see like his twin, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like when you go driving. Everyone's driving either a Volkswagen, a GTI, and that's it, pretty much.
That's me.
Oh, really? Oh, you have one? There you go, guys. The stereotype is true. Oh my God.
How's your Saturday going, dude?
It's going good. I went to the dentist this morning and my teeth are fucking killing me.
I just changed mine. I hate the dentist, man.
Oh, dude, it's so. You know what the worst thing is? When they clean your teeth, they're asking you questions. Like he's going at it. He's like, "So yeah,
how do you talk?"
Yeah, he goes, "How's everything?" I go, I can't even answer. I just go, He's like, "Oh yeah, nice."
There's no way to answer.
Oh, you can't, bro. Oh, fuck.
It's like, yeah, your hands are in my mouth. What do you want me to say?
I don't know, man. These dentists, I'm telling you, man. But anyway, man, thanks so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. And
I appreciate you having me.
No problem. Francesco's the one who actually reposted you on his story. And when I saw it, and it was crazy because it was an article on Yahoo News. And it was like top recording artists you should listen to in 2021. And your name was on there. And I was like, holy shit. So, I obviously from Toronto and I wanted to support. So, and I listened to all your stuff, all your covers and your music. It's fantastic. So we're going to get into, your upbringing and everything. And also your new single coming out, which I'm very excited to talk about because it was fantastic.
Me too.
Awesome, dude. Yeah. So when you were young growing up, how was singing for you? Like, did you take lessons? Were you self-taught? Like, what made you want to start to be a singer?
All right. So for me, it all started actually with guitar first. So I started playing guitar when I was about like 10 years old.
Okay.
And my parents actually would never let me play first. It took me like 2 years to convince them. And
how come? They just wanted you to focus on
like no one else. Yeah, like no one else in my family really played any instruments or anything. So they just thought I would quit. They're like, no, you're going to quit. You're going to quit. We're going to buy it. It's going to be a waste of money. And I'm like, no, Mom, I promise. Like, I won't quit. I want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I love it, right? So then like one day I just went to my cousin's house. I went to my cousin's house, right?
Yeah.
And they just heard me. They heard a guitar from upstairs, like just being played because she plays it, right?
Yeah.
And when we went downstairs, they're like, "Who is playing guitar?" And she said it was me. And they're like, "Okay, so maybe we'll take them." And then the next week, they just finally took me to get my first guitar. And then ever since then, I never stopped playing, right?
Yeah.
And so my guitar teacher, his wife is a vocal coach, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that at first, but my parents were like hearing me sing in the basement all the time. They just hear me sing like Ed Sheeran and Shawn Mendes, like things like that. Well, I guess Shawn Mendes wasn't around back then, but more Ed Sheeran, right? So they hear me singing Ed Sheeran all the time in the basement, and like, Daniel, why don't you take some singing lessons? I'm like, oh, no way, I'm too shy. Like everyone's gonna hear me in the music school. Like there's no way I'll take it, no chance. So like a few years went by and like no singing lessons. I just kept going. And then my guitar teacher, he even saw like I love to sing too, right? Mm-hmm. And eventually I started taking some vocal lessons with his wife, who's the vocal coach.
Yeah.
And I still even remember that first lesson was so funny. because I still wouldn't even open my mouth for her. Like she would be like, "Oh, sing this note," and I would just be like,
and you were shy, yeah.
Yeah, I was so shy back then, but like now, like I'll do anything. Like I don't care anymore. Like not shy anymore. I'll just talk for anyone.
It's your passion now.
Like, yeah, now I just love it so much. So like, you know what? She helped me get to where I am. She helped me so much, and I appreciate it. Right. So now, ever since then, I keep going, and I love it. So I've probably been taking lessons for about maybe like 6 years now, 5 or 6 years.
Oh wow.
Probably now. Yeah. So it helped out
awesome.
a lot. Like I still remember like back then I was pretty bad. At least I think.
Everyone's always picky on themselves, man. Even now, people, sorry to interrupt you, but like, everyone's so picky on themselves even now. Like even if, even like the people who are like at the very top, I'm sure they still think too, like, oh, I sounded shit on that. I should have fixed it.
I still think even just hearing your own voice is kind of like, everyone just hates it. Everyone just hates hearing your own voice. Because still I
do too, yeah.
Yeah, right? So like even when you record it, even if I'm in the studio and I record something and the producer, let's say, he says it sounds amazing, I'll be like, are you sure? I think like I should redo it. Like that's me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't even wrap your head around it. You're like, I don't know, that doesn't sound like me.
Yeah. So like you just have to trust that you're good enough and it'll be good, right?
Yeah, of course, dude.
That's how I see it.
No, that's awesome. Do you know, I took guitar growing up as well. That's why it's pretty cool we can relate on that aspect, because I remember when I first started, it's crazy because my family is kind of like yours. So before guitar, I was taking karate, I was taking swimming lessons, I was doing all these things, and I quit everything. Same thing. I wanted to play guitar, I wanted to get into music, right? And that was when, so I'm sure you could tell by the posters in my theme of the show, but I love 80s and 90s stuff, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Oh, the retro.
The retro stuff, yeah. So even music, I listen to all the oldies and stuff. That's what I always listen to. And when I was a kid, I was really into like the metal stuff, like Metallica.
Me too, a little bit.
Yeah, like all these rock bands, right? Like even like the hardcore Motley Crue and all the cocaine players. You know what I mean? So so it was hardcore. I had my hair nice and long and stuff. And I remember I was like, Dad, I really want to be a musician.
I need to see a picture of that later.
I'll send you it out. I actually, it's so funny. Speaking of that, I will send you, it was a recital I did from my guitar school. And it was like the Liberty Spikes on my head. I'll send you a
video. No way.
I was playing Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden.
No way.
Yeah. I was like 9 years old. I was like 9 years old. It's so funny. So it's crazy how my parents at first they're like, oh no, you're going to quit. But I got into it. And actually, I don't play much now, but my music taste has changed. I used to like a lot of the rock. Now I like more of the, I like Frank Sinatra a lot. He's one of my favorite artists, like Frank Sinatra. I like a lot of
he's really good.
John Mayer. Like I like, even though he's not old.
Hey, I love John Mayer. He's one of my favorites.
I could probably tell the music. Yeah. John Mayer, man. He's the best. I saw him in concert too. So.
Greatest. Me too, like 5 times.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, like 5 times.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah. Well, it's just awesome. Like how your journey, how you started from there and you evolved to that. You know what I mean? And even from your page, and when we first got on, we briefly spoke about you love fashion, which is why you're dressed so nice.
Yeah, so, thanks, man.
So I guess that kind of correlates, being a singer, you have to look the part too. You have to make sure you look with your fashion. So you've always been into both, I guess, music and fashion.
Yeah. I love fashion too. It's just like every time I see clothes, I just want to buy it, and like all night you're just researching.
I know, man. And
you look at like other posts for inspiration, then it gets expensive. It gets a little crazy. It
becomes an expensive habit, but it's worth it though. At least it's nice.
But I think it's worth it. Yeah.
Absolutely, bro.
You have to look good, right?
Yeah. I mean, I try to look good. I mean, I'm wearing my retro shirt right
man,
now.
That's good. You like the retro? You're repping yourself.
Yeah.
Rep what you like, right?
Yeah.
Fashion gives your own identity too.
Oh, of course, dude.
Fashion gives you your own identity. That's why I love it so much too.
When I was in high school, I mean, we had uniform, but like on the weekends, if I were to parties, it's crazy how like my fashion changed over time. Because I used to always want to like dress like other people. I'd be like, oh, like I can't dress the way I want. I feel awkward, right? But now, look, who the fuck wears a purple shirt? Like this. I don't even give a shit.
Purple's so nice, man. It looks good. Don't worry. But I'm the same way. I feel the same as you.
You feel the same way about it? Yeah,
I know. Yourself. You just got to be yourself.
And that's what people, they get drawn towards after. Because if you start being like other people, that's why it's not, you got to be your own person.
Imitation.
I feel like that's going to work well with your singing career too. You're trying to be your own entity, right? You're not trying to be like other people. You have your own look, your own voice. Even though your voice, which is really, really good, it's a compliment. You do have that Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes sound to it.
That's thank really you.
Good. That's
thank
really
you.
good, man. Honestly, but it's
thank you so much.
It's a mix of it, but you have your own, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always good to like make your own sound, you know?
Yeah.
Because like if there's already like a couple of someone else, you can't be them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Out there.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to explore.
Yeah, explore and just find what works.
That's another thing. Like always, my vocal coaches have always told me too, right? I'm always like, oh, I want to sound like this person. Help me sound like this. They're like, no, you have to find your own sound. Like it's yourself. You don't want to be somebody else. So like that's something I carry with me now too. So you just want to be yourself. Don't copy. I
think it comes naturally too. Have you noticed when you're like, for example, when you go to your lessons and stuff and you're singing and you just try to be yourself, do you notice that? Like, because I've never been to singing lessons. I'm curious to know, like when you go and you're trying to learn something, are you trying to, even though you're trying to be your own person, are you trying to find it or does it naturally just come out of you? Like, how does that work for you?
So I feel like that took a while actually. When I first started, I always was just like, oh, let me sound like this. Let me sound like this. And I would try to copy them, copy other artists. But as time went by, using your own voice, your own sound, it helps you evolve more. Like you can become better, easier.
Yeah, right.
The way your voice sounds, you can't really change that, right? So you want to just embrace it with your own sound, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, everything will come easier. Because when you're trying to imitate someone, like sometimes you'll try things that won't work for your voice and it'll be too much and it'll sound bad. So you want to stop doing that, right? You just want to be yourself and it'll come. I think
that's a main problem a lot of people have. I know a lot of people, I have a couple friends that are in singing or that are in music. And, you know, not to say that they're not good, but it's like I could tell they're trying to be something they're not. And I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna say any names, but like, yeah, I'm like, dude, like you have this certain voice. Like, why you should try to like embrace it like that. He's like, no, because people don't like that. People like more this. I'm like, but I've said this.
I have a friend like that too.
Yeah, I've said this in many podcasts. I've said to people I've talked to, I go, if you're always trying to do things for other people, you're just gonna neglect yourself, and you're never gonna be happy. You know what? Who knows? You may do really well doing what other people want you to do, but what you really enjoy, is that gonna be you? You know?
That's another thing you have to look for, right? Are you gonna be happy doing it?
Yeah. Even with the show, even with my show, like I could have took it in a direction where it has a modern, very modern, doing what everyone else is doing. I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to do that. Because the main reason why I started this was because I wasn't around when MTV was popular in the 90s, obviously.
Oh.
But like when I see it on YouTube, it's like, I go, wow, like, why don't they have that anymore? Or why don't they have like, obviously, Johnny Carson passed away, right? But I'm like, Johnny Carson was such a great interviewer. You have MTV, like, let's bring it back. Let's bring the 80s back. So I don't know. That's what I just thought.
No, that's amazing. I love that you did that because you're just being yourself.
Thanks, man.
That's the best part. That's the best part. I can see that you love it. I can just tell that you love doing it.
Thank you, man.
Especially by like even just the background, the way you're talking about it.
Thank you, man. And that's what I'm trying to do with my page. And like that was my next question too for your page. Like, what are you hoping people take from your page besides the fact that you sing?
All right, so just besides the fact that I sing, I really want people to see that I'm chasing my dreams, and I want to inspire them to do the same thing. So like, don't be scared to just get out there, post, and just follow your dreams. Try to get there, because the thing that's stopping most people, I find, is that they're just scared to post something in the first place. If you don't post it, you don't get it out there, you're not going to get anywhere, right? So I think if you just try and you follow your dreams, you'll get there. So I want people to do the same thing. I want to inspire them to do the same. And also through my pictures as well, it's like a journal, right? So I want people to see that I'm being myself and not somebody else, and I want them to do the same. That's the same kind of thing.
I think people, and it all goes back to, I think it's just society. We have this notion that like, again, going back to what I said, if you're not doing what the crowd's doing, you're going to be criticized, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you felt that with yourself? Like if you let's say you tried to post something that you were a little uncomfortable, but you wanted to get out of your shell. Did you have you ever felt like that where you post something, you're like, shit, should I take it down? Or I don't know if people are going to criticize me. You felt like that before?
Honestly, like all the time, because it's like, what if they don't like it? What if they hate it? What if I sound bad? Do I sound bad on this? Like, it's always like that. But honestly, in the end, just post it and that's it. Don't worry about it. If you like it, that's all that matters. So it doesn't really matter what other people think about it, It's just, if you like it, just post it.
Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to do too. But you know what's really interesting? I just thought about this right now, because I know, like, for example, music as a whole is very complicated to be good at and to excel in, right? Obviously, learning an instrument is really hard. Singing is very hard. But what's really crazy, because when you play guitar, it's obviously like people have their own sounds. Like if you listen to John Mayer and then you listen to Santana, you could tell who's who in a way, right? So I guess it's kind of
100%.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that like even though an instrument like you have two of the same guitars, they have the same strings and they can sound the same. Isn't it crazy how they could still have their own sounds to just like vocals? Isn't it?
Yeah, it's like they have their own personality, right?
Yeah, I just thought about that right now. Sorry, it came to my mind. I was just thinking about it. I'm like
that always. Yeah. It comes from their fingers actually too. The way they play. So a lot of the sound comes actually directly from your fingers.
I didn't know
that.
Yeah,
anything you play, it comes from your fingers. The way you play.
Oh wow! And when
it has a lot to do with the personality of how you play.
Yeah, when you were playing, what kind of sound were you kind of going for at first? Were you trying
like when I was younger?
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I used to really like punk actually.
No way.
I used to like Green Day. Yeah, a lot of Green Day and Sum 41.
Oh,
I really like them.
Nice.
Yeah, I really loved those guys when I was younger. And like maybe you want to start a band first too, right? So then we ended up starting like a pop punk band kind of thing. And eventually I just quit because I really like pop later. I like pop the most.
Yeah.
And that's why I ended up going solo by myself and started my pop singing. Hopefully that comes out. Everyone loves it.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So like I was just following what I really like in the end because I didn't really want to do the band anymore. And like my friend could kind of see that. So one day he just asked me and he's like, do you want to quit? And I just told him the truth. And I was like, yeah, I just want to go solo and do my pop thing pretty much.
It's okay,
and
man.
That's how that came about. And,
it's okay. You know, it's whatever you want to do at the end of the day, man. If you weren't happy doing it, why push yourself? It goes back to what we were talking about before.
And it was really hard for me to bring it up because he was one of my best friends, right? So I didn't really know how to bring it up that I wanted to quit because it was still fun. Like I was still having fun doing it, obviously, right? But it was really hard to end up switching.
I can't even see you doing punk, man. You don't look because you don't look like it. I can't even see it.
Back then, I used to love it. I even used to like my hair. Like I tried doing like like the bangs a little bit. It was like
no way. Do you have piercings as well? Like
I just have earrings. That's it.
Oh, earrings, yeah. I took mine out. I had them, but they're bothering me, man. I don't know. Like they kind of like they were getting really like itchy and stuff. I clean them all the time, but they just like I don't know what it is.
So maybe it was the type of earring. I think depending on the material.
I think I'm probably allergic. I think I'm allergic to something because every earring I buy, it's good for a couple weeks to a month. Then it starts to kill. I'm like, oh my god. And then
it has to be the material.
Has to be because I keep playing alcohol doesn't work.
You have to try stainless steel. I think those are the ones I use, and I've never had anything. Never bothered me.
One day I'll get real gold earrings. Hopefully those don't bother me.
Could try that too. I haven't tried that because I wouldn't even want to lose them. I feel like whenever I have the studs, I lose them too much.
Oh, bro. Fuck that. Dude, if I had little gold earrings, I'd be like, I'm never taking these off ever. That's it.
Yeah. But you won't know if it falls out, dude. It just falls out. I'm telling you.
It's happened before. I've had earrings that fell out in my sleep. I woke up like, what happened?
And then you can't find it, dude. I'm telling you, every time I would just lose one, and I'm like, oh my, I gotta buy a whole new set.
You gotta buy a whole new set. You can't just have one.
They won't even sell you just the one. You have to buy both.
Yeah, it's called money. So it's like, that's it.
I just need the one. Come on.
Oh man, it's so cool how your music taste has changed over time. You start with punk, which I didn't know about, and now evolved to pop. And like
going back, then I even got the funk. I even got the funk a little bit too, and like just like funk and rock, like rock, funk, all that stuff.
What kind of artists?
Like Red Hot Chili. Used to love Red Hot Chili Peppers too. I used to love even Incubus, if you know Incubus.
Yeah.
All things like that. Yeah, I used to love like honestly like all different types of music, but it changed.
What's the genre that's? I think this is like alternative rock, but I listen to a lot of again like 70s, 80s, and 90s, but even like early 2000s, like Third Eye Blind.
Those guys were cool too.
Yeah, what is that genre though? Even like Sugar Ray's pretty cool. I love Sugar Ray. So cool.
Third Eye Blind. What would they be?
Even like Lifehouse. You know Lifehouse?
Lifehouse is sick.
I love
those guys.
Yeah.
I love those guys. I don't know what genre all those are though.
Yeah, Fight for Fighting, Lifehouse, Gavin McGraw.
Gavin McGraw, you're trying to say? Or are you
Gavin McGraw, the guy who sings Chariot.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I think Gavin McGraw. Oh no, let me check right now. Hold on. I think I have.
Are you talking about the country song though? Talking about a country song or no?
No.
I don't know the song you're talking about.
Oh, Gavin DeGraw.
DeGraw. That one. Okay. I know which one you're talking about.
Is he a country singer
though? There's one. I don't know. There's one country singer and one's like a pop singer. There's two guys with like a similar name, I think. But I'm not sure.
Probably. I don't know. But yeah.
I don't think the one you're talking about the country singer though.
I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of country. I'll be honest with you.
My dad always listens to country.
Oh, he likes it?
I was a kid. That's my dad's favorite genre.
Oh,
that's
no.
all I used to hear when I was a kid. He would have it on the radio all the time. Yeah. Always.
I don't know. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah. For me, like, I still like it because like I always used to hear it as like when I was a kid too. Yeah. That's so, like it's okay. Like for me, it's all right.
That's like my dad. Like my dad's the one who got me into like the oldies and stuff, right? Like Supertramp's one of my favorite bands. I love Supertramp.
And that's like my Zio. My Zio got me like to listen to all those bands too. That's why I used to listen to those when I was younger too.
What are some?
He used to make me download songs from him all the time and like make them CDs.
Yeah,
like,
back in the day on Limewire. Did you do it on Limewire back in the day?
I remember Limewire.
Yeah.
Is it dead now? It's probably dead now.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, probably long gone. I think Spotify
that used to be our saving grace.
Yeah.
Yep. Now we don't even need it. That's true. We don't even need it now.
It was fun though. It was fun. I used to come home from when I was younger. My older brother, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just downloading some music on LimeWire. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Everyone used it.
Yeah.
It was like the only way to get it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious, dude. But yeah, man. It's just crazy how like, yeah, again, so like it changed so much your music taste. And so now with your new song coming out, Alone, which I heard, that kind of has that pop feel as well, right? And is that kind of the direction you want to go going forward with all your music, or you just want to test the waters with that and then see how everything goes?
Yeah, honestly, my favorite genre right now is pop, so I'm trying to kind of go in that direction. So I'm going for the more pop feel, and I still like add guitars in there because I love guitar as well, right? Yeah. So I try to add guitar in there with the pop elements and make it work that way. And yeah, I'll probably continue with the pop way for sure. Eventually, I want to add more acoustics too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Try that out as well. Yeah, I want to try that as well. So, like, kind of like how I like Shawn Mendes and Ed Sheeran. Yeah, like that type of vibe too. I want to try that vibe next as well.
That's awesome.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. It's always good to test the waters, man. Everything.
Exactly. I always try new things. That's the only way to go, right?
Yeah. Well, but like the music industry now, it's like it's really changing. I noticed like even like a lot of the sounds. Like look at the new song with Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. Leave the Door Open. What a great song. And it's like, I never heard anything like that before. You know what I mean?
And Bruno Mars is an amazing singer. Oh, yeah. He's so good.
He's good. But like, I want to hear your opinion on this. Like, where do you think this industry is headed in terms of music sound? Like, I know everyone's doing like, they're bringing some funk and soul back now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Where's it? I don't know. You think it's gonna,
right?
I don't know.
Right now, it's like, I've noticed a lot of like trap type music with the hi-hats with those type of beats. Yeah. And, but I see the soul coming in it as well. So maybe eventually someone will try to mix it in. Who knows? You never know what's coming next, to be honest. You just have to kind of look at what's missing in the music industry, and then you can try to make it. I guess that might help out. But
I like that. I like how you said that.
Yeah, you can try to see what's missing. Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
Maybe that'll help out. You try to look at what's already out there. You don't want to be the same, right? So maybe you can try to find what's missing and try to go from there.
Yeah. You know what's cool about that? When you say that, that really speaks to me, because I that's the way, it sounds so corny, but I live my life like that. I always think, not in a bad way, like something's missing, but I always go like, there's something more. There's something like I could do more, right? And I think that everyone should think like that, because if you are so fulfilled in life, again, I'm no motivational speaker or anything, but this is just something I've learned over time. Like, I just thought to myself that if you just think to yourself, oh, I've fulfilled everything, and like, I'm very content, you're never going to be able to grow. If you always tell yourself there's more, and you keep chasing that dream, you keep chasing what's more, you always have something. Like, it's always good to have something to chase in life, because then you always, then you always.
How do you go forward?
Yeah.
How do you go forward otherwise, right?
If you just think, okay, I got everything, you're going to just be depressed. You're like, okay, that's it. I've made it. I'm sure even people like some of your, Shawn Mendes and Ed Sheeran, like some of your inspiration, I'm sure they still think the same way. Like, okay, I'm famous, I'm big, but how do I sustain this now? How do I keep going forward? How do I stay on top forever? Because I'm sure, look how many artists out there that have been on the top and they just went downhill.
They're gone now, right?
They're gone because
I guess it's probably tough. you're always trying to just evolve, I guess, right? Even if you look at all of Shawn Mendes' albums, let's say, you can kind of see him evolving through them. They kind of change a little bit. Yeah, they kind of change a little bit in each album. So even the last one to the newest one, I see a big difference, to be honest.
Well, I heard mixed things about his new album. I heard it wasn't that good. I don't know. Like I heard.
I still like it. To be honest, I still like it. I think his voice is amazing, so I still like it. But I heard the same thing as you. But in my opinion, I like it.
But I think he went to a different direction. I haven't listened to it. I'm not the biggest.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than the last one.
It is, right? Yeah.
For sure. I feel like it's not as poppy as the last one.
That's probably why people were like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like, right?
Mm-hmm. But I really like it. Like honestly, my favorite song from it would be 24 Hours. It's called. 24 Hours. The slower one with piano, but I really like it.
Did you do a cover on it or no?
No, I haven't done it yet. I was thinking about it.
If you do it, I'll definitely listen to it, man.
All right, cool. Yeah. Sounds good.
So with this, so again, with the new song Alone, right? So what were you trying to do with that song to make it stand out? Like, I know that sounds like a very like stupid question because it's like, oh, I wanted to just do like make a good song, right? But like going through the steps of it, like walk me through, like, for example, like the process, like when you actually first sat down writing it to putting it into work, like what was the struggles you went through? Like what made you get inspired essentially?
So for that one, it was actually hard to know who I should work with at first, right? So I didn't know who even to do it with. And my friend just set up a meeting with a producer and songwriter named Steve Malella. And he's also the drummer of Finger 11. Oh, and wow, really? I just went, so that was really cool for me when I met him. And he just called me up and he's like, I set up the meeting, let's go. I'm like, okay, let's go. I just dropped everything and I went to meet him. And after the meeting, like, I love the way that he talked about music and just the way that he sees music as well. And we really vibed together. So I knew like we would work well together on the single. And so from there, I just told him, all right, let's start working. And we started from there. And I showed him Alone and we both thought it was a cool idea. And we just sat down and we started working on it. Honestly, it took a while. We were just sending voice notes. We sent some voice notes to each other. And after that, we just got in the studio and we recorded the chorus first. And after that day, he's like, all right, I love it. And he's always told me to put emotion every time you're singing it. So I tried to really put that in there as well. And I got really inspired by the way I sang the chorus, to be honest. After I sang the chorus, after we tracked it, we didn't have the verse yet. We didn't have the verse written yet. But the way I sang the chorus kind of inspired me and Steve when we did the verse, right? So that emotion kind of helped pave the way for the verses. And we just looked at like our past experiences kind of thing. And we kind of decided what we wanted the song to be about, mostly. So like,
and what is this? What is the song about essentially?
So the song is basically about vulnerability, and it's at its core, it's about loneliness, right? Loneliness and how it can kind of go against our better judgment and make us do things that'll cause pain in the end. So like, even though we know we shouldn't do those things, kind of you still do them anyway, even though it's going to cause us pain. That's the way I saw it. And I'll leave.
It's an interesting concept.